Hey everyone, this is James here from the Dev Genie Academy, and in this week's episode we're going to be moving our rendered quad on the screen in the X and the Y axes. So in order to get started with this, we need to create a new class called Entity, and this Entity class will take in a model, which we've already got. It needs a vector 3f for the position and the rotation. Obviously the rotation won't be done this week, but it will be just position, but it's nice to have it there right now. We also need a private float scale, and we then need all of those variables in a constructor. The first method that we need is a public void increment position, or inc position. So it takes in a float x, y, and z, and all we do is this.position.x plus equals x, and we can do this.position.y plus equals y, and finally this.position.z plus equals z. We also need a slightly similar function. Instead of inc position, we need a set position. Still takes in the three parameters, but instead of plus equaling, we're just making it equal. We need to copy both of these functions again, because we need to do the same thing with our rotation. So we need an inc rotation, and we need a set rotation. Obviously, we just need to change where it says this.pos into this.rotation across all 6 of those. There we go. The last thing we need to do now is just do getters for our model, position, rotation, and scale. And that's the entity class done for now. In the shader manager, we need to create another set uniform function. Again, it takes in a string uniform, and this time it needs to take in a vector 3f for the value. So that's our position and our rotation basically. We do GL20 GL uniform 3f. Make sure it's just 3f, not 3fv. We take in the uniforms.get uniform name and the value.x, value.y, and value.z. We can do the similar function to this as well, which is a vector 4. So instead of a vector 3, we do a vector 4 and uniforms 4f, and we need to import that as well. So all we need to do now is, in addition, it's just value.w. So let's create another set uniform function. It's the same as before, it's public void set uniform with a string uniform name, but this time we pass in a boolean value, and it's slightly different because we can't pass a boolean across into GLSL, so we need a float res equals 0, if value is true, res equals 1. And then we just do GL20 GL uniform 1f, and we just pass in the uniforms.get, uniform name, and then the res as the result. Okay, let's do one more quick one. So in the set uniforms, let's copy the integer 1, change the parameter to a float, and change GL uniform 1i to GL uniform 1f, and that's that done. Now in the render manager class, in the init method, let's add some more variables to our shader. So shader.createUniform of a transformation matrix, and we also need to do a shader.setUniform for that. So that needs to change to a set uniform. And the value we need to pass in is 0 for now, because we need to create a function for that. So in our utils package, let's create a new class called transformation, and in here we can create a public static matrix 4f, and it's going to be create transformation matrix. And the values that we need to pass in is a entity, because we need to get the positions and the rotation there. So we can create an empty matrix 4f by doing matrix equals a new matrix 4f. We need to do matrix.identity.translate, and we do entity.getPosition. We then need to do .rotate x, cast the value to a float, and we do math.toRadians of entity.getRotation.x, and we can do that function 2 more times for the rotation of y and the rotation of z, making sure to change the parameters from x to y and x to z. And finally we just do scale to be entity.getScale. And then we can just return that matrix, and we can now go back into the render manager and change the 0 to transformation.createTransformationMatrix. So now in the render method, instead of having a model in there, we can change that to entity, and we can pass the entity in there. See, we get errors now, but we can just do entity.getModel where the model was before. That should make the render method happy again. So in the test game at the very top, where we've declared private model, change that to private entity. This will cause errors in the code again, but we can rectify that by just having model be local in the init method. So instead of model equals loader, we just do model equals loader. There we go. And then we can say entity equals a new entity, and we can pass in model, a new vector 3f of 1, 0, 0, and a new vector 3f of 0, 0, 0, and pass in 1 for the scale. Before we rectify the last error, in the update method, let's create an if statement here. So if entity.getPosition.x, if that's less than -1.5f, make that entity position equal to 1.5f. And then we can also decrement that position, entity.getPosition, not model, position.x negative equals, and make that 0.01. That's going to move the entity from the right hand corner of the screen to the left hand. So finally, let's just fix that renderer. Instead of passing model, we pass in entity. So moving on to our vertex fragment shader, we now need to add our uniform for the transformation matrix we created. So we do uniform transformation matrix, and that needs to be in a very particular order. So in GL_position, it needs to be transformation matrix multiplied by the vector 4 of position. And also I need to make sure I do that uniform mat4 of transformation matrix. So when we launch that now, we can see the entity is moving from the right hand corner of the screen onto the left. When it hits a certain position, it's resetting itself back to the beginning again. So thanks very much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. If you do have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next week.